the relationship between quantities. Okay, so sometimes you can find an unknown value by graphing the values that are known. Let's take a look at our first problem here. Okay, we have a table that shows the relationship between the number of bicycles, Y, that Sean has left to assemble, and the number of hours, X, he has worked. We're going to graph the relationship represented by the table and find the unknown value of Y. Okay, so note here that in your table you have your X value, your independent variable, and your Y value, your dependent variable. So what you really have here is a set of ordered pairs. Okay. Now sometimes it's hard to write an equation based on the relationship between x, y, but you can find unknown values by graphing them. So we have a coordinate plane down here. Here's the origin, and you have the x-axis along the bottom, okay, and the y-axis over here. And our first ordered pair is 0, 10. So you start at the origin and go up 10. Okay, 1, 8. So you always go over first on the x-axis and up on the y-axis. And 1, 8 is right there. Okay. I'm going to skip 2 for a moment because we don't know what that value is. So now we're going to go to 3, 4. It's this ordered pair. And finally 4, 2. Okay, you can see that your values go in a straight line. Okay, I'm going to connect those dots and we can find our unknown value. Okay, so we can start here. Okay, you can see our line. This is a linear equation. When you graph it, you have a straight line. So if our x value is 2, our y value would be 6. Okay. All right, let's look at another example. Okay, again, we're going to graph the relationship represented by the table. Okay, you can represent relationships with tables, equations, and graphs. Okay, so what you really have in this table here are ordered pairs. Okay, remember, ordered pairs are always in XY form. Okay, so x is 20, your x coordinate is 20, your x value is 20, y is 100. So we're going to go over 20 and up 100. Over 40 and up 200. Over 60 and up 300. Remember, the order is important. When you're graphing ordered pairs, the x value always comes first. You go along the x-axis. Finally, we have 80, 400. Okay, and again, you can see here that we have a straight line. Okay, so this is a linear equation. Okay. Now, how can we write an equation for this? Okay, we've represented it with a graph. We have a table. So you want to write an equation from a table of values. Okay, we know x is the independent variable, and we're going to perform some operation to x, and it's going to give us y. So I'm going to start. Now I'm going to look for some patterns. I see 20, 100, 40, 200. So 20 times 5 is 100. 40 times 5 is 200. 60 times 5 is 300. So my equation is 5x equals y. 5x equals y. Okay, so here we've represented this relationship with an equation, a graph, and a table. And all these things are showing the same relationship. Let's look at one final example. Graph the relationship represented by the table. When I'm looking at my x, y values here, 4, 9, 5, 7, 6, 5, it's hard for me to see what the equation is going to be. But I can find this missing value by graphing the relationship. Remember, order is important. Okay, you have your x coordinates up here, y down here. So we're going to go over 4 and up 9. Okay, 5, 7. Going to go over 5 on the x-axis and up 7. And all these values are in the first quadrant. They're all positive values, x and y. Okay, I'm going to go over 6 and up 5. Okay, I'm going to skip this one for a minute because I have an unknown value, but my final set, my final order pair is 8, 1. I'm going to go over 8 and up 1. And again, these values, I'm going to make a dotted line so I can see what's going on under there. Okay, so over 7. Okay, and right there is where the line would cross through that point. So my missing value is 3. Okay, that point was 7, 3. Okay, so you can graph relationships represented by a table, and a linear equation is an equation whose solutions form a straight line. Okay, you can always check your work by looking for relationships in your table.